Who says you need a giant engine to land a knockout blow? Back in the 1960s, some of the fiercest muscle cars weren't hulking big block beasts with flashy stripes. They were lean, mean street brawlers with just enough V8 under the hood to catch you off guard at a red light and leave you choking on their dust. From unsuspecting sleepers to purpose-built quarter-mile assassins, these rides proved that small didn't mean slow. In fact, the lighter they were, the harder they hit. So buckle up, here's our countdown of the top 10 smallest cars of the 60s that packed a massive punch. Number 10. 1963 Buick Special V8 215 aluminum. The 1963 Buick Special didn't scream for attention with flashy scoops or chrome-laden styling. Instead, it quietly introduced one of the most innovative engines of its time, a 215 cubic inch, all-aluminum V8. Lightweight yet potent, it delivered an impressive 200 horsepower and 240 pound-foot of torque. With a curb weight of only about 2,600 pounds, the Special boasted a sharp power-to-weight ratio that made it quick and responsive on the streets. But the Buick Special's magic wasn't just in straight-line speed. It felt agile, modern, and surprisingly nimble compared to the heavy hitters of the era. Buick had built a small car that could dance through city traffic and carve up winding roads while holding its own against bigger V8 muscle. Its influence didn't end there. This very engine would later find new life powering numerous British sports cars after being sold to Rover. In an age obsessed with heavy cast-iron power plants, the Buick Special stood out as a lightweight, forward-thinking pioneer. Number 9. 1964 Mercury Comet Cyclone 289. The 1964 Mercury Comet Cyclone was far more than just a dressed-up Falcon. It was a compact muscle machine with a confident swagger. Under its clean, aerodynamic line sat the same 289 cubic inch small block V8 that would soon become a legend in the Mustang GT, pumping out as much as 271 horsepower. And pushing only 2,900 pounds, the Cyclone had no trouble surprising unsuspecting rivals at a red light. But the Cyclone wasn't all brawn, it carried itself with a certain refinement. Inside, you found a well-finished cabin, and on the road, it delivered the kind of nimble, composed handling that appealed to drivers who valued more than just raw speed. Paired with a 4-speed manual, it offered sharp throttle response, eager acceleration, and a genuine connection to the pavement. While it often lived in the Mustang shadow, the Comet Cyclone earned respect from purists who loved its blend of subtle style and unshakable performance. Number 8. 1965 Plymouth Belvedere 426 Commando. The 1965 Plymouth Belvedere with the 426 Commando wedge wasn't built to blend in, it was built to dominate. Beneath its unassuming sheet metal lurked a 426 cubic inch wedge V8, pumping out 365 horsepower and a crushing 470 pound-foot of torque. In a mid-size car tipping the scales at just over 3,200 pounds, that meant serious, no-nonsense muscle. The Belvedere's charm was in its raw straightforwardness. No flashy stripes, no gimmicky badging, just pure moper power. Seasoned street racers loved the 426 wedge for being easier to live within its wild Hemi-cousin, while still delivering brutal, pavement-twisting torque right off the line. On city streets, it was a quiet assassin. At the drag strip, it transformed into a full-on tire-smoking menace. Number 7. 1969 Pontiac Tempest Custom S350H. The 1969 Pontiac Tempest Custom S350HO was one of Pontiac's best-kept performance secrets. Under its modest skin beat the heart of a 350 cubic inch high-output V8, pushing out 325 horsepower and 380 pound-foot of torque. At roughly 3,300 pounds, it had the perfect mix of punch and agility. What made the Tempest special was its subtlety. It didn't shout muscle car, yet it could embarrass plenty of GTOs, especially when launched hard from a stop. Most people didn't see it coming, until the light turned green and the Tempest came alive with a throaty roar. For drivers who valued raw capability over flashy looks, it was a hidden gem. It carried pure muscle car DNA without the swagger, making it a quiet favorite among those who knew what it could really do. Number 6. 1966 Ford Fairlane 500 R-Code 427. The 1966 Ford Fairlane R-Code 427 was born with one mission: to own the quarter mile. This mid-size brawler packed the legendary 427 cubic inch FE big block under its hood, topped with dual Holley 4 barrels for a factory-rated 425 horsepower and a crushing 480 pound-foot of torque. Ford didn't waste time with fancy trim or comfort options. This was a weapon, plain and simple. Everything about the R-Code screamed purpose-built speed. Heavy-duty suspension, a close-ratio 4-speed top-loader, and a lightweight fiberglass hood capped with a teardrop scoop set the tone. Forget power steering or air conditioning. This was pure, unfiltered muscle. On the street, it was intimidating. On the strip, it was a predator. Produced in very limited numbers, the R-Code remains one of the most coveted and respected muscle cars among serious racers and collectors. Number 5. 1968 Dodge Dart GTS 340. The 1968 Dodge Dart GTS 340 nailed the sweet spot in Mopa's performance lineup. Officially rated at 275 horsepower, the high-revving 340 cubic inch small block was famously underrated. With a little tuning, it easily topped 300 horses. Paired with a curb weight just over 3,100 pounds, it became a street fighter with knockout power. What made the Dart 340 so dangerous was its balance. Unlike the big block Mopars, it was light on its feet, quick to rev, and eager in the corners. Off the line, it launched with ferocity. In the curves, it felt playful and precise. With its understated GTS badging, restrained chrome, and unmistakable A body stance, it looked like a mild-mannered compact, but it could hang with the heavy hitters. Grassroots racers loved it for exactly that reason. It was an unassuming assassin with the heart of a champion. Number 4. 1965 Oldsmobile F85 330 Jetfire rocket. The 1965 Oldsmobile F85 330 Jetfire rocket was muscle in a tailored suit, a gentleman's performance car. Beneath its refined exterior sat a 330 cubic inch V8 delivering 310 horsepower and 355 pound-foot of torque, served up with Oldsmobile's trademark smoothness. At around 3,200 pounds, it struck a perfect balance between muscle car punch and near luxury comfort. This was not a car built to shout. Its clean lines, upscale interior, and polished demeanor disguised the fact that it could move with real authority. For drivers who wanted speed without the flash, it was the perfect choice. In the hands of those who knew, the F85 was a performance jewel, a true sleeper dressed in formal wear. Number 3. 1967 Dodge Dart GT273. The 1967 Dodge Dart GT273 was Mopa's compact with personality. Its 273 cubic inch V8 was factory rated at 235 horsepower. Not earth-shattering on paper, but paired with a sub-3,000 pound curb weight, it came alive. Rev-happy, eager, and light on its feet, it offered the kind of driving fun that raw power alone couldn't match. This wasn't a car built for dominating quarter-mile leaderboards. It was for drivers who loved feeling every shift, every corner, and every burst of acceleration. Agile and responsive, the Dart GT had just enough muscle pedigree to earn respect, yet remained approachable and playful. Today, it stands as one of the most charming and underrated compacts of the muscle car era. Number 2. 1964 Ford Falcon Sprint V8. Before the Mustang stole the spotlight, the Falcon Sprint was already setting the stage. Offered with either a 260 or 289 cubic inch V8, it delivered solid muscle in a featherweight package of just 2,700 pounds. That combination gave it quick acceleration, nimble handling, and the kind of street performance that could surprise almost anything in its class. The Sprint didn't shout for attention. Without the aggressive styling of later muscle cars, it flew under the radar, right up until the light turned green. That's when its agility and eager V8 came alive. More than just a fun-to-drive compact, the Falcon Sprint was a crucial stepping stone in Ford's pony car revolution, making it an important chapter in early muscle car history. Number 1. 1966 Chevrolet Nova SS327 crowning the compact street fighter. Ranks is the 1966 Chevrolet Nova SS327, the undisputed king of small but deadly muscle. Under its clean, modest body lines lurk the L79 327 cubic inch small block V8, packing a factory-rated 350 horsepower. With a curb weight under 2,900 pounds, it boasted one of the most potent power-to-weight ratios of the entire decade. The Nova SS's deadliest weapon was its disguise. To most, it looked like a sensible family runabout, until it exploded off the line, hitting 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds and taking down many of the era's full-sized muscle brutes. Its sleeper appeal made it a hero among street racers and enthusiasts who preferred to fly under the radar. The Nova SS327 perfectly embodied the small car, big punch philosophy and still stands as one of the greatest examples of compact muscle done right. These weren't just small cars. They were true giant killers. They proved that real muscle isn't measured in size, but in attitude, engineering brilliance, and unshakable determination. Whether it was a stealthy V8 sleeper or a featherweight factory rocket, each one hit way harder than most people ever expected. So, which of these little legends would you take for a spin? Drop your pick in the comments and let's see who wins the bragging rights. And if you've got a soft spot for forgotten icons and underdog powerhouses, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell, because we've got more blasts from the past headed your way. Until next time, keep it loud, keep it light, and keep it legendary.